Welcome to Mo's World, the baseball podcast. Yep, another baseball podcast. Here we talk about baseball like a few friends sitting at the bar. Awesome. We welcome your input and look forward to your comments. This is Season 3, Episode 12. What's on your mind? Well, we welcome you to the podcast. In doing this podcast, we have tried to stay away from, the topics that you see on ESPN or MLB Network or even your local newscasts. We've tried to be a little different at times, and it gets a little hard since we've produced 75 unique podcasts now, and sometimes we do need to look back. For instance, this is a dilemma in the game with batting averages. Yes, we've talked about this. At this point in the season, we have completed approximately 65 games for most teams. Can you imagine that the leaders, and I hate to use that term leader, but Manny Machado leads the major leagues in having the worst average for a regular player. And he's had 238 at-bats, and he's only hitting 172. Holy cow, 172, Manny Machado. I can't believe it. And number 2 on the list, Dansby Swanson of the Cubs. He's hitting 178. Unbelievable. Evan Carter of the Rangers, also 178. Cedric Mullins of the Tampa Bay Rays, a whopping 189. Nolan Gorman, third baseman from the Cardinals, he's hitting 194. And Adolis Garcia of the Phillies, he's played 67 games, he's hitting 195. Don't forget, over in Kansas City, we've got Salvador Perez of the Royals. Now, he's played 63 games with 244 at-bats, and he's still hitting 197. Holy cow. Now, there's a slew of players hitting under 210. Unbelievable. Now, there was a very colorful character who passed away January 16th, 2025, at the age of 90, and that was Bob Uecker. Now, we dedicated a podcast to Bob Uecker, asking for sportscasters especially, and baseball people, to make a change in respect to Bob. Yes, I'm talking about the Uecker Line. If it sounds familiar, that was Season 2, Episode 9. The Uecker Line. You need to revisit this podcast and please, please, please share it with your baseball friends. Instead of the Mendoza line, let's use the Uecker Line. Let's update it as a tribute to Bob. With all the hitters struggling to get to 200 this year, I promise you will have plenty of opportunities to use it. Thank you. Now, at times we've had discussions about the Hall of Fame. We've had podcasts on it. We've talked about who's eligible, who would be a good candidate. And every once in a while, I hear something that just annoys me because the announcer must not know jack shit about the game of baseball. Recently, I heard a recap of games and scores, and they mentioned Jacob deGrom, and they introduced him in the segment as a guaranteed future Hall of Famer. Now, I want you to think about that. Jacob deGrom is a good player. Hell, you can even say he's an excellent pitcher when he plays. He's played 13 years and has a record of 101 and 69 with an awesome 2.60 ERA. He's got 1,900 strikeouts and only 1,600 innings. Awesome stats. So what's the problem? Why am I bitching about Jacob deGrom? Well, he is 38 years old now, as he debuted with the Mets in 2014 at age 26. So the majority of his career is pretty much over. Now, the Mets were known to have a great starting staff at that time. deGrom, Matt Harvey, Noah Syndergaard, Steven Matz, Zach Wheeler. Then injuries hit them all. Now, deGrom has outlasted most of his fellow teammates. Now, here's the problem I have. We have a criteria for the Hall of Fame, and you know it's out there, so you need to listen to it if you don't know it. Season 2, episode 22, Hall of Fame voting / Pete Rose. If you ever have debates on a player who should be in the Hall of Fame, this is the episode you need to look up. And this is what we always refer to. Obviously, the broadcaster does not have an idea what it takes to get to the Hall of Fame if Jacob deGrom is a guaranteed Hall of Famer. Now, he had 5 awesome years. He led the league in 2018 with a 1.70 ERA in 32 starts. He threw 217 innings, only giving up 152 hits, and he struck out 269. He was only 10-9 because the Mets kind of neglected to score for him. But in recent years, you know that that's not really a big thing anymore. Jacob deGrom went on to have 5 good years between 2015 and 2019. After that, he pretty much became a non-impact player due to injuries. In 2025, he came back and had his big comeback with 172 innings at age 37. It was his first year throwing over 170 innings since 2019. So 5 great years is not a Hall of Fame career. I don't give a shit how great you were in 5 years. Look, if Don Mattingly is not eligible for the Hall of Fame for the same reasons, how could Jacob deGrom be? Think about it. We always go back to Mattingly, mainly because he was the best player in baseball, but not long enough to make the Hall of Fame. We're not saying that Jacob deGrom is not a great player, but he's not a Hall of Fame player. So don't bring that word into play. All right, that's my grumpiness on listening to announcers around a future Hall of Fame comment. I don't think so. But what do I think? I think I'm ready to eat some crow. No, I'm going to eat the whole friggin' nest at this time. The Chicago White Sox. I am ready to stop and apologize for calling the White Sox the Shit Sox. Now, the White Sox have averaged 20,638 fans per game this year. You're not impressed? Well, last year's total was 18,021. But they are in first place at 36 and 31. 2 games up on the Guardians. Wow. This team is so much better than the 2023 version. And they have made some great baseball decisions. Let's get real about the White Sox of 2023. They had so much poison on that roster that they needed to get rid of the players. And they did. They really did. Key players from 2023, catcher Yasmani Grandal, first baseman Andrew Vaughn, second baseman Elvis Andrus, shortstop Tim Anderson, third base Yohan Moncada, center field Luis Robert Jr., right field Oscar Colas, DH Eloy Jimenez. The only player still on the roster from that year is Andrew Benintendi. That's it. That team produced 61 wins and 101 losses, finishing fourth in the American League Central. Now, they say that team had a mix of veterans and young talent. And their manager was Pedro Griffel. He managed the team for the entire season before being fired in August 2024. Now, the Chicago White Sox of 2026, it is a true blend of experienced players and emerging talent. Players such as Murakami, who's only 26 years old, playing first base, and he's on the injured list right now for about 4 to 6 weeks, and they're looking forward to getting him back. Second base, Chase Meadroth. He's only 24. I know, I kill the names. I'm sorry. Third baseman, Miguel Vargas. He's 27. Shortstop, Colson Montgomery. Only 23. He's a rookie. Catchers, Drew Romo is only 25. Edgar Quiero is only 27. Left field, Sam Antonacci is 23. Center field, Luis Angel Acuna is only 24. Right field is Braden Montgomery. He's 23, and he's a rookie this year. And then we've got the DH, Benintendi. Now, the White Sox manager is Will Venable, and he took on this role prior to 2024. In his first season, he led them to a whopping 60 wins and 102 losses. So his mission was to improve the team's performance and build a cohesive unit. I think mission is accomplished. Venable's leadership is definitely one of the reasons the White Sox have recovered from the 2023 season, which featured a poisoned roster and a record-setting number of losses. So, like we have said, in this division, anything can happen. And the White Sox are the surprise feel-good team of 2026 so far. I thought it would be the Pirates or the Reds, but no. So Chicago, go support this team. Wow. Amazing. So, geez, here it is. It's June. And the injuries and possibly season-ending injuries are popping up, right? Now, talking about the Atlanta Braves, they are cruising. They've taken control of the National League East already. Every move now is gearing up for the playoffs. And I'm hearing tons of rumors linking the Braves to Tarik Skubal. Like we say, you guys, you know that Alex Anthopoulos, you can't figure out what he's going to do or what he's thinking. He just pulls deals off, and you don't even know about it. So for this reason alone, I doubt the Braves are a serious contender for this Skubal rumor because it's leaked. They don't leak shit. But it's interesting because if you think it's been since 2001 that a dominant 1-2 starting pitcher last impacted a team to win a World Series. Yep. I'm talking the 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks with Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling, who single-handedly led the Diamondbacks in victory over the New York Yankees in the 2001 World Series. Oh, I know that World Series brings back nightmares to me. That little flare hit over the infield, to win the World Series, that kills me still. I still can't watch that game. Now, what I'd like to see is Chris Sales and Tarik Skubal. They have that same kind of impact for the Braves. I'd love to see that. The Braves are going to have to be creative, though. They will not be able to depend on Ronald Acuna Jr. again, just like in the 2021 World Series run. Is this getting old? Believe it or not, Acuna is in his 9th Major League Baseball season with the Braves. He's played 150 games or more in only 2 seasons, 2019 and 2023. This is his third year in a row of a downward trend. Since stealing 73 bases in 2023, his last full year, Acuna has never stolen more than 16 in a season. Now, 2023, he was the best player in the game. Since then, non-existent. He is currently on a very, very friendly team deal of $17 million per year ending after this year. And the Braves have a team option of $17 million in 2027 and 2028. So he hits free agency possibly in 2027 at age 30. Now, I'm saying it now, the Braves will let him walk. Enjoy him while he is a Brave, because he is the next star not to be offered a contract by the Braves. Just like Dansby Swanson of recent years and Freddie Freeman, at 30 years old, Acuna will be in his 11th year with the Braves, and it will be his last. So, some teams are struggling with injuries, right? Obviously, and they're wondering if they can hang on while their star player gets back. If you're talking about that topic, I guess we have to start with Aaron Judge. Will the Yankees survive another major part of the season without Judge? Will they survive this year? Well, with Rice, Grisham, Bellinger, and Goldschmidt kind of playing pretty well, I think that they'll continue to hold the fort as the Yankees lean on their surprisingly good starting pitching. So perhaps it's good news in New York. Now, in Seattle, Cal Raleigh. Since re-aggravating his right oblique strain and landing on the injured list on May 14th, Raleigh's now on the comeback trail to get back to the Mariners, who desperately need him. They really need him. So let's look and see if he starts making an impact with the Mariners. Speaking of impact, the Braves got news that their MVP candidate, Drake Baldwin, is testing his strained right oblique against live pitching, and it's going to be on a rehab assignment in Gwinnett this weekend. So that's good news for them to get him back. As the Cardinals also have been waiting for Lars Nootbaar to get off the 60-day injured list. He was just activated, and you say, Cardinals. But don't forget, the Cardinals are in the weak National League Central, and they need him in the lineup, and they're staying in contentions, and you never know in that division. Now, that's just a few of the impact players waiting to get back to their team soon. But unfortunately, some teams are already trending. And it's not good. It's not good. In San Diego, the Padres must be hitting reality as they are now 8 games behind the Dodgers, and things are getting worse. We have Manny Machado at 172, like we said prior. Jackson Merrill is only at 207. Xander Bogaerts is at 231. And we've had a non-productive Fernando Tatis Jr. hitting a soft 281 with only 1 home run and 21 RBIs. So it kind of makes sense why the Padres are sitting at 30th in runs scored at only 255 runs. That's an average of 3.8 runs per game. They've had a magnificent bullpen and some good, decent starting pitching. But with a team OPS of 651, the Dodgers are leading that with a 789. So you can see where they're going in this division. I wonder if teams will try to raid their bullpen come the trade deadline. It's a sad thing, but you gotta wonder too. I mean, the Manny Machado thing. Why is he struggling so much? 172. Holy shit, he's still projected to hit a decent amount of home runs and RBIs. But the thing is, his runs are down and his average is piss poor. I don't know. Seems team-related, except for the average. Let's watch to see Manny finish the year to see where he's heading. Now, I believe that's a wrap for today's show. I hope you enjoyed our 12th episode of Season 3 of Mo's World, the baseball podcast. We are in our in-season schedule for releasing new episodes every other Friday. And next episode will air on June 26th, 2026. Each episode is approximately 20 minutes long, and we have a new section in the podcast. You can now support us and become a subscriber. We'll have shout-outs, contests, and more for those who do that. Thank you for listening, and please spread the word to your friends. In the meantime, ask yourself, whose world is it? It's Mo's World.